Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Live from the Casey Center in Des Moines, it's time to begin the Class 4A Girls State Basketball Tournament, and we open things up with a quarterfinal contest. The number 2 seed is here for the 6th year in a row. It's Dallas Center Grimes and the Mustangs facing off with the number 7 seed and 1-loss Go Hawks from Waverly-Shell High School. And we welcome you courtside here to the Casey Center in Des Moines. I'm Daniel Versteg, joined by the incomparable Laura Leonard for our broadcast in Class 4A. And, well, it's not the most pretty thing to talk about, Laura, but defense could be a mainstay here. Waverly-Shell leads the state in fewest points allowed, just 30 points a game this season.
You know what? Defense wins championships, right? That's what everybody says, and I think both of these teams have done that very well all season long. As you mentioned, only 30 points a game. So you're going to have to be efficient on offense. You're going to have to take care of the basketball and do all the little things to be able to try to find ways to score against this Waverly-Shell team.
And, of course, you're going to have a player like Macy Meyer for Dallas Center Grimes, who's an outstanding scorer, 14.5 points a game. She's only a junior and already committed to play college basketball.
Yeah, and she's a player that is crafty. She can find ways to score. She can shoot it from the outside, but she's little enough that she can find her way and weave her way through the defense and get to the glass.
Let's see how these teams got to Des Moines by taking a look at our road to the state tournament. Dallas Center Grimes, of course, defeating the Pella Dutch, a fellow Little Hawkeye Conference rival. They defeated them 60-28 in the regional final. You can see they score at a great rate from the outside, 36% from three-point range. That's the best in Class 4A. We talked about Macy Meyer. Waverly-Shell, they defeated a mainstay to get to state. Cedar Rapids Xavier, again, the best defense as far as fewest points allowed per game. But when you pair defense and offense, 7 3-point makes a game. That's quite a combo.
It really is, and it's a lot of times they work it inside, they'll kick it outside. They've got a lot of weapons out on the perimeter, and they will try to utilize them early in this ball game.
One of them is the player we have listed there, Lizzie Frizzell, future Drake Bulldogs. So we've got some Missouri Valley Conference rivals set to go against each other here in the not-too-distant future. Meyer at UNI, Frizzell at Drake. But they were playing for their high schools first. It's Waverly-Shell and Dallas Center Grimes, a Class 4A state quarterfinal. between the number 2 seed and 7 seed. We'll take a break on our coverage here from Des Moines, and when we come back, we will take a look at the keys to success. That's coming up in just a moment. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Do you volunteer or hang with friends? Play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
As title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're proud to support this fantastic event. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools fuel strong futures. Partnering with the Girls Union allows us to celebrate Iowa's youth while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is no small feat, and it takes a strong support system. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we're able to honor students for their outstanding achievements in each of their sports and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau helps our organization provide awards, grants, and scholarships to honor excellence in athletics and academics.
Whether you're a student competing today or a fan cheering from home, we all play a role in making our state shine. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on a fantastic season, and good luck.
Back inside the Casey Center here in Des Moines with Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg, Waverly-Shell, Dallas Center Grimes, set to square off in a Class 4A state quarterfinal. This opens our 4A bracket here today. We've got 3 more matchups in this class to take the court, but first, let's see how these teams need to match up by taking a look at our channel seeds for success.
Well, what Waverly-Shell needs to do first is they need to limit turnovers, and they're going to have a little pressure on their own, and then they need to handle the pressure defense. And then for DCG, they've got to win in transition. They've got to get out and run, try to beat that pressure, and they have to own the glass. They've got to give themselves some second chance opportunities.
Well, those are our seeds for success. They're brought to you by Channel Seeds, your local seed dealer. Visit channelseed.com today. It is Dallas Center Grimes and Waverly-Shell in a Class 4A state quarterfinal. This is such a fun class each and every year. So competitive. We saw an 8 seed win this class here not too long ago. So anything is possible when the 4A teams hit the court, which we're about to get ready to introduce these two teams. Again, Dallas Center Grimes 21-2, Waverly-Shell 22-1. Let's go down to our public address announcer for the introductions.
Tournament time! Welcome to today's 2026 Girls State Basketball 4A quarterfinal matchup featuring the Waverly-Shell Go Hawks and the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Now at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Waverly-Shell High School and Dallas Center Grimes High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school is asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Harper Christensen from Boyer Valley High School, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, We'll present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Waverly-Shell High School, Dave Arns. And from Dallas Center Grimes High School, Matt Jensen. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone here present today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to just enjoy the game. Now, fans, it's time to introduce our players and coaches in today's 4A quarterfinal matchup. Today's team intros are brought to you by Hy-Vee. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Go-Hawks of Waverly-Shell. Number 1, Hannah Byers. Number 3, Ava Leichman. Number 4, Kinley Dietz. Number 10, Harper Morrison. Number 15, Ella Wilker. Number 21, Maddie Wheeler. And 33, Abby Frizzell. Your assistant coaches, Chad Angel, Nick Willenberg, Chelsea Wedeking, and Emma Poppy. Now here for Dallas Center Grimes. Here are the non-starters and assistant coaches. Number 3, Tenley Heidgerken. Number 4, Hayden Smith. Number 20, Anaya Bowens. 22, Paige Harvey. 23, Taya Jones. 24, Paisley Heidgerken. 32, Denali Amos. And 42, Kate Wilson. Your assistant coaches, Judy Nisley, Rich Kloster, Jalen Raymond, and Jacob Heineman. All right, here's your starting lineups for this 4A quarterfinal. For Waverly-Shell at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 2, Annika Ott. For Dallas Center Grimes at guard, 5'4" senior, number 2, Leah Brock. For the Go-Hawks at guard, a 5'11" junior, number 11, Lizzie Frizzell. For the Mustangs at guard, a 5'7" junior, number 10, Macy Meyer. For Waverly-Shell at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 12, Natalie Beck. For Dallas Center Grimes at forward, a 5'11" sophomore, number 12, Ava Smid. For the Go-Hawks at forward, a 5'6" senior, number 14, Addie Ott. For the Mustangs at forward, a 5'10" junior, number 14, Addie Abens. And for Waverly-Shell at forward, a 5'10" senior, number 42, Brittany Bodensteiner. And for Dallas Center Grimes at guard, a 5'7" junior, number 34, Tessa Jones. Head coach for the Go-Hawks is Greg Bodensteiner. For the Mustangs, Adam Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our officials for this 4A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Your referee, Jason Slaughter. Your umpire, Kevin Schultz. And umpire, Tyler Vanderloo. and your bench official, Jack Adolphson. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
Well, we certainly are ready to go for this Class 4A state quarterfinal. And before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank the Iowa Farm Bureau, a proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa. And we'd like to thank them for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. Well, we know Dallas Center Grimes knows their way around this court. It's their 6th season in a row at the state tournament. Waverly-Shell Rock, first time they've been here in a couple of years. You know, that familiarity is oh so important down here.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you just are a little bit more comfortable each and every time you get here, and I think that, but however, yesterday we saw some nerves from teams that had been here year in and year out. So this one, as we talked about, defense is going to come into play. And we'll see how if that kind of heightens the intensity of this ball game.
And we know when a team settles in defensively, that means they're very comfortable with how things are going. Dallas Center Grimes looking to the inside early, and the Go Hawks already have a takeaway. Annika Ott with the steal, and now the Go Hawks will bring the ball up the floor. Waverly-Shell Rock, first time there at the state tournament since they were a runner-up down here a couple of years ago. Well, Dallas Center Grimes, as we mentioned, their 6th consecutive season at the state tournament. Go Hawks working around the perimeter right out of the get-go. And this is Bodensteiner. And short time on the shot clock. Going to have to look inside. There's Bodensteiner catching on the block. Can't get the layup to fall. And the Go Hawks track down the O board. But it's stolen away. Dallas Center Grimes gets the basketball back.
DCG started out in a matchup zone. It took Waverly-Shell Rock a little bit of time to identify what they needed to do.
Well, this is a deep one right out of the get-go, and Macy Myers shows her range.
Macy Myers comes from a long line of shooters in that family, as her 2 older sisters played in college, one at Iowa, one at Drake.
Go Hawks can't quite get one to drop. Yeah, there's just been a few points scored in that Meyer family over the years.
Just a few. And all long-range bombs for the most part.
They all went to the same school of three-point shooting.
Their backyard, their driveway.
Exactly. They're outside the Meyer household driveway. Here's a kick-out pass. Now a 3, this time from Brauk. She can't quite knock it down, and the Go Hawks are there for the board. Waverly-Shell Rock with just 1 loss in the season. It came to the number 1 seed in Class 3A, the Mount Vernon Mustangs, who advanced on to the semifinal after last night's victory over Cherokee. And now Waverly-Shell Rock works it inside. Here's Bodensteiner, double-teamed and stolen. Ava Smid comes up with a steal. Out up ahead to Meyer. She takes the contact and finishes through it anyway.
I'm not even sure how she got that shot up, but able to find the friendly roll. But good defense, little backside help on the double team down low that got that run started.
Go Hawks curling inside. We're going to get a tie-up and the possession to Waverly-Shell Rock. Dallas Center Grimes has had an impressive season as well, 21-2. In fact, their 2 losses came right at the beginning of the new year, to Iowa City High on the 3rd of January and to Norwalk on the 6th of January. So they got all their losing out of the way to start 2026, and since then, they've been on a nice run. They've won 13 straight basketball games, trying to make it 14, as we get a foul down low from Addie Abens, the first one of the contest.
You know, and you get those mid-season losses, you always learn from those, and then I think it kind of helps propel some of these teams for the rest of the season as far as getting on a roll and figuring out the things that you need to do.
Frizzell misses the mark. Dangerous pass with a nice roll inside. Gets down to Smidge. She misses her layup. Is able to kick it out, though, and Brauk rewards her with a 3. It's an 8-0 start for the Mustangs, who nearly took away the inbound. Waverly-Shell Rock gets it back, and Lichtman takes it up the floor.
Yeah, Brauk is one of those sneaky guards that'll hang around on that inbound, look like she's going to the other end, and then quickly jump in the passing lane.
Yeah, she just kind of sneaks up on you if you're not paying attention. And now, after the kick ball, Dallas Center Grimes will make a couple of changes. They will be our first IMT insurance substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT. at imtins.com. This will be Anaya Bowens and Paisley Heidgerken into the contest for the first time today for the Mustangs. Waverly-Shell Rock still with their starting unit out there as they go into the corner. Lichtman wants a three. Just not quite enough on it. And the Mustangs are there for the board. An 8-0 start for Dallas Center Grimes. Not much doing here for Waverly-Shell Rock early. And the Mustangs have a chance to really blow this game open here in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you see a bucket here, you're going to get a quick timeout.
Oh, that's a good takeaway. Lichtman trying to get some momentum, swinging back the Go Hawks way. And she can't quite get the layup. There's Frizzell, and she's on the board.
You know, a lot of times you get out on the run like that, and I said it yesterday, I'd like to see some of these players just get to that jump stop, let the defense go by, and then go up, not try to force the issue.
That gives you a little, beat to just calm yourself and get the shot up. Dallas Center Grimes now trying to respond after Waverly-Shell Rock's been in some passing lanes here so far. And the Go Hawks commit a foul right on cue. This will be on Brittany Bodensteiner, head coach Greg Bodensteiner's daughter.
Well, and they do such a good job of moving around, filling gaps, and that's where they get the steals and they get that good defense and going the other way, turning those turnovers into points.
Mustangs lob it up top. They're going into Bowens, trying to get her going. Still coming off the bench. Here's Brauk wanting another triple and burying it. That's the second three for Leah Brauk so far. And that's where her 6 points have come. Waverly-Shell Rock looking for the answer as Lichtman tries to massage her way into that Mustang D. Baseline drive and cut off. A good recovery by Ott, stolen away by Bowens.
Bowens very athletic, doing a good job out a little bit away from the block area, get those hands up.
Well, she's got such good height off the bench, too. Here's the kick out. Heidgerken. How about another one for the Mustangs with the friendly touch? And the Go Hawks need a timeout. That is 4 threes right out of the chute for Dallas Center Grimes, the state's top shooting team by percentage. And boy, if you're Waverly-Shell Rock, got to find a way to contest the outside.
Yeah, you've got to be out on the perimeter. And the one thing, though, that you see from the Mustangs, you come out and you defend against that three. They're quick enough that they can put the ball on the floor, turn that corner, and get it inside. So they've got a nice balanced attack.
The last couple of years, Dallas Center Grimes has lost out in a semifinal contest. They lost that last year. They were in a quarterfinal ball game that they could not get past a couple of years ago. And you got to feel like this senior group is motivated after watching the classes above them 3 years ago win a state title. They're looking to try and get DCG back on the map.
Yeah, this is they just keep reloading.
Yes.
And as you had mentioned, they've been down here 6 straight times, and they want to get over that hump. They want to get back to that title game. Over the last 6 years, 126-20 has their record. So they know how to win.
Go Hawks miss a three. That was Frizzell, the future Drake Bulldog. And now Dallas Center Grimes will bring it up the floor. Again, a chance to really, really put this one out of reach right out of the get-go. See if they go to the outside again. Waverly-Shell Rock's got it better contested. A little backdoor roll, and it's stolen by Frizzell. And she's got a head of steam up the floor. Looks to dish it out. And they find Lichtman. She travels. Tried to lean into the defender, and the chair was pulled out from underneath her.
And DCG is paying attention to Frizzell. It looks like they have Brock. Leah Brock is kind of face guarding her, but not necessarily the full-fledged face guard, but really paying attention to her.
Mustang basketball following that phenomenal stop. And here's Bowens trying to run the point up there. And Brock in the right corner, steps back. Oh, she's got Bowens on the roll and is turned away. Bodensteiner gets a hand on that one. And now Frizzell on the run out to Brittany. Gets fouled. She'll shoot two.
And that's what they want to do. If they can get the turnover, get out and run a little bit. Bodensteiner out in front of everybody. Good lead pass to get her into the spot where she could draw some contact.
Paisley Heidgerken, one on your screen, whistled for the foul for Dallas Center Grimes. And now Brittany Bodensteiner, who will be a Dewhawk at Loras College next season. She misses the first. 59% free throw shooter, one of the top scorers for Waverly-Shell Rock. You can never question a basketball player's toughness, and you can certainly not question Brittany Bodensteiner's toughness. She's been playing football in Waverly since 7th grade. 6 years of football as a girl, which is just impressive what she's been able to do on the gridiron. And after the missed free throw, it's off Waverly-Shell Rock. It's Dallas Center Grimes basketball.
Yeah, that's toughness right there. That you can line it up every Friday night and be able to knock helmets and shoulder pads and hold your own.
It certainly tells me I don't want to post up against Brittany Bodensteiner. That's not going to go over well for yours truly.
I don't want to post up or face up against her. I don't want to drive on her.
Get out of the way when she's coming down the lane. Dallas Center Grimes up by 12 and trying to put the Go Hawks away early, seeing if they can get another shot to drop from the outside. This is Taya Jones to the charity stripe. She lost it right into the hands of Meyer, who takes it in and scores. It's all DCG, and Meyer's got 7 points here in this first quarter.
Now, as we talked about, Meyer is crafty, and she just knows how to slice her way through the defense.
There's a skip pass trying to get Maddie Wheeler going off the bench. She is fouled on the floor. And so Dallas Center Grimes picks up their 3rd foul as a team. And we'll...
Taya Jones, maybe?
I believe so. So that will give Waverly-Shell Rock an inbound here.
That shows you the help defense that Dallas Center Grimes is putting on out there inside. Nice move.
Nice step through. That's Lizzie Frizzell. She's got all 4 here for Waverly-Shell Rock. She's trying to get her own, but needs some help as well. Here come the Mustangs along the baseline, and the kick out to Meyer. Oh, she dribbled it off her foot. The Go Hawks have some numbers on the run out up ahead. Great lead pass down to Lichtman. Works around the defender and scores.
That one went up the telephone pole and right back down. That was a straight up the shoot and right back through the hoop. But again, the turnover turning into some points.
Yeah, good change of momentum there. Go Hawks get it to within 10. And now here come the Mustangs. Good ball fake. And all the way in. Taya Jones gets her first bucket.
Yeah, she is a young player coming up through the ranks and just learns each and every game. And she's got a lot of good skills and continues to grow those.
I think that helps that her dad, Adam, is the coach for Dallas Center Grimes, and she certainly glean a lot from him. 10 seconds here in the first quarter. Shot clock is off. As the Go Hawks work it inside with Frizzell. Good spin. Little baby hook doesn't drop. DCG's got some time, but they're not going to be able to make any forward progress. Well, a lot of teams struggled to score 16 or 18 points against Waverly-Shell Rock in a game this season. The Mustangs got it in the first quarter. They're up by 12 heading into the second. We'll step aside, and the second quarter comes your way in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
We're back inside the Casey Center in Des Moines. From homeowners to small businesses, Iowa banks know what it means to invest in the future. Their customer relationships are built on shared values and earn trust. Iowa banks, your partner through it all. Alongside my partner, Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteeg with you here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Dallas Center Grimes up by 12. Boy, they have been shooting the ball very well, both inside and outside.
Yeah, 4 of 5 from three-point line, and overall 70%. in that first quarter, and they're going to continue to keep that percentage up there. They're getting shots inside, high percentage shots. They're moving very well without the basketball, and it's a very well-oiled machine right now.
Yeah, they are really just throwing Waverly-Shell Rock's defense for a loop here. I was looking during the break. 18 points in the first quarter the Mustangs scored as Frizzell's off the mark from 3. There were 4 teams this whole season that did not score 18 points in a game against Waverly-Shell Rock. The Mustangs had in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's got to be a little shock to the system for Waverly-Shell Rock. But I also think, get in there at the end of the first quarter, and as a group, as a team, you just have to go, okay, not our best quarter. We only scored 6, but we're still in this ball game. Let's turn up a notch defensively. Let's get some turnovers and get back into it. You just have to play them quarter by quarter.
Yeah, try and win the second. That will give you a little bit of momentum heading into the half. Now, Dallas Center Grimes slowed down on this possession. Shot clock is getting down there to 10. As the Mustangs have to reset now. This possession looks like it's in trouble. Brauk with a lot of dribbling. Gets to the basket. But it's recovered, and it's Ava Smid scoring again in this quarter.
She was just getting out of the way of Leah Brauk, who is driving inside. As that ball is stripped, comes right over to Smid.
Now Waverly-Shell Rock down by 16, and we got an illegal screen, and it's on Brittany Bodensteiner, who already has her second foul of the game. So that's a shot to the system right there.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to go to the bench. No, I thought they were going to take her out. No, they're going to leave her in. So she's going to have to play smart. If you're the Mustangs, you go right at her.
Yeah, you got to try and take this away. And now looks like Waverly-Shell Rock some pressure and setting up in a bit of a zone. Dangerous pass over our way, and it's off Dallas Center Grimes. This is going to the Go Hawks.
A little bit of a surprise attack. They throw it on them, slap it on them about three-quarter court, and they just were not ready for it. They get the turnover. That's the result they were looking for.
Still got to try and find some points off of a turnover like that. Waverly-Shell Rock only put 6 points on the board. They're going to curl Frizzell up top. And here she comes, kicking it out. Some good ball movement on this possession, trying to find the best shot to get on the board. This is Otts. And Bodensteiner working inside, now running out of time, leans in for the shot. It misses. And that one's tracked down by Meyer.
I think she was maybe tricked into that one by the student section as they were counting down the shot clock. She still had a little bit of time.
Just a little bit, yeah. And the student section for DCG can view that as a win. And they'll try and help their Mustangs out now on this end. Brauk around to Meyer. They're leaving at the high post. That's Tessa Jones. That was Abens. Going to kick it out. And this one, boy, low movement on this possession. Shot clock at 1, and Brauk gets fouled right as it was about to expire.
Now that when the clock is starting to wind down, Mustangs spread the floor, look for the opening to put the ball on the floor and get to the hoop. And usually when that happens, it's usually the young lady at the line, Leah Brauk, who gets the duty to try to beat the clock.
And while she didn't score on a possession a couple of minutes ago, she got to the hoop, lost the basketball, and Ava Smid was right there to help clean it up and score the 2. As she just seems to find that little crease that she needs to create an opportunity, and goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. For Leah Brauk, the first team all-conference pick from a year ago, and she's averaging just shy of 10 points a game coming into the state quarterfinal. The Go Hawks have it on the wing. It's Ott. And looking back door, that ball's stolen. It's Bowens who got in there. Now a dangerous pass out of there. And DCG hustles up the floor.
Frizzell did the right thing, though, overplaying defense. She tried to go back door, but then you got that backside help covering up.
Inside look, Smid, who's scored 4 of the 5 for Dallas Center Grimes in this quarter. And all of a sudden, the pace offensively is ground to a halt in this game. Not much developing either side. As Brauk tries to swing it. Again, the shot clock under 5 for DCG. Pull-up shot by Smid. doesn't go, and then we get a foul on the rebound. Laura, has Waverly-Shell changed something up that DCG's trying to figure out right now?
You know what? It looks like they might be switching a little bit defensively on certain things, but the intensity level of what they're playing defense is way higher than what it was in the first quarter. I think that, as we talked about, they took a punch in the first quarter and it woke them up a little bit, and now they're kind of back to playing defense, probably what they have done all season long. They just have not been able to establish anything offensively.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle on that. Nearly lost another opportunity for the Go Hawks, but they keep it with the possession arrow in their favor. Shot clock about midway through its 35-second allotment. As the Go Hawks try and get it back to Frizzell. Needs to get one, but she's 0 for 5 from the outside. There's Lichtman getting to Bodensteiner, who lays it in with the left hand.
You hang around and good things will happen. You just don't put your head down after a missed shot and retreat on defense. You hang around, try to create something, and they did.
DCG's going to bring this all the way out. You mentioned it earlier. They're spreading the floor and trying to create something off of this. This one's out on the corner with Heidgerken. She works the baseline and floats it in for 2.
She was able to get the corner that time, and the player that was in the middle that could have come over and helped was Bodensteiner, but she's got a couple of fouls, so she just backed off.
Oh, Bowens with a great shot denial on Ott. And DCG on the run out. This is Brauk lobbing inside. They're going to let Smid go to work. They are attacking Bodensteiner again. And go back down to Smid. And a double team. She passes out of there. Down to Bowens. Rolling to the cup and missed the layup. And now we get a timeout from Waverly-Shell. Head coach Greg Bodensteiner's got to talk things over. And you're kind of in an interesting spot here if you're Waverly-Shell, Laura, because you're doing some good things defensively. You just can't get the bucket in the hoop.
Yeah, and I think he probably saw something he didn't like defensively, because obviously they're a defensive team, but they certainly are doing all the things they need to do. They have got to find a way to create some openings. They've got to move a little bit better, look for the backdoor cuts, set some good screens, and give some ball fakes to try to get this aggressive Dallas Center Grimes defense out of position.
It's not very often that the field goal percentage can tell you a lot about a ball game, but 4 of 15 for Waverly-Shell, 10 of 15 for Dallas Center Grimes. And the Mustangs have been doing a nice job of adapting. They were hitting the outside shot so effectively to start the game. They haven't even attempted one in this quarter.
Yeah, they have gone inside, and so looking at what the defense is giving them, they are trying to take advantage of that.
Well, let's see if the Go Hawks got something to go offensively, but an errant pass will shut that down right out of the get-go. So Dallas Center Grimes will inbound the basketball, and they'll do so amongst a full-court pressure defense, but blown right by it all. Brauk, she's got to be careful with who she passes to, and finds Meyer. She's swarmed by Go Hawks. Down inside, they're going to kick it out. Heidgerken all the way in, and gets the roll.
Boy, the one thing that the Mustangs do so well, when they do put it on the floor, they float to the basket, and they don't go all the way in and get contact.
Oh, good deflection right into the hands of Ott, but misses that one in front of the net. And the Mustangs on the run out. Here's Meyer stopping, realizing she didn't have the advantage she thought she did. Dangerous dribble in the lane. Smid, she is tied up for the possession, and this will stay with the Mustangs. Ava Smid fighting through some of that reach in down low and is able to come out the other side.
The gauntlet
yes.
She had to go through, because there was a lot of hands slapping as she was trying to make her way to the hoop.
Yeah, it's got to feel like sometimes there's 8 Go Hawks out there just with how many there and how well they move and rotate. So we'll see what DCG's got in store this possession. They're going to go up top for Jones, and Meyer sets it up on the wing. The DCG already up by 19 points. And a chance to take a lot of momentum into the locker room. And it's Meyer splashing in her second 3-ball.
Well, again, the entire quarter they've been going inside. Defense kind of starts sagging back down, and that left Meyer wide open.
DCG 5 of 6 as a team from the outside, and Bodensteiner loses the dribble in the corner. Kicking it out, trying to get something. Lichtman off the mark. And DCG wants no part of that rebound, and wisely so.
You know, Lichtman was set up, ready to go, and then all of a sudden flashing out at her as Bowens altered that shot immensely, where she drew nothing.
Yeah, that height is dangerous inside and outside. As Waverly-Shell Rock's got the takeaway on the inbound, and getting inside, Addie Ott scores it.
Those are the plays that Waverly-Shell Rock needs. They need those little momentum plays, spark plays to get them going.
See if they can get a stop on this end now. There's an open three. Heidgerken missed the mark, and it's pulled down by Frizzell.
Now you got a little time left here before halftime. If you can get a couple of quick buckets to give you some momentum going in at halftime.
And an opportunity here out of a set play as well. Maybe get your best inbound play to try and get you an open look. So we'll see what they draw up here on the sideline. Still, you got to think they're still looking to get into Bodensteiner on the block, but she's just been taken away in this game. Frizzell works it and kicks it out. Back to Frizzell straight away. There's the three.
Just repositioned, tried to take it inside, kicked it back out, and then found a little bit of an opening.
Oh, and now the Go Hawks have a little swagger in their step, but there's a foul the other way as Meyer draws contact. And that's going to set up for an inbound as it'll be Waverly-Shell Rock's Maddie Wheeler picking up the foul.
You know, probably not a bad foul because they weren't in the bonus and they had the advantage. So you might as well slow them down a little bit by giving up that foul.
Take a risk, see if you can get the ball.
Right.
Dallas Center Grimes with an inbound here as Waverly-Shell Rock scored a quick 5 points to trim the deficit a bit. Not wanting to be out of this ball game yet. Shot fake there for Tessa Jones. Runs through Bodensteiner. It's out off DCG, and it'll be Go Hawk basketball once more. So all of a sudden, Waverly-Shell Rock's built some momentum, and boy, another bucket here would do wonders for them. They might double their score from the first 13 or 14 minutes of this one. Here come the Go Hawks. And Ott sets it up. Going around the left side. Lichtman. Pass up top, finds Beck. They're going to dare Ott to shoot. They're okay with her having the ball outside. Here's an open three from the wing. It's off the heel. There's Bodensteiner fighting off two Mustangs for the O-board. Ott's got it in the corner again. He's only hit 1 3 all season, hence why they sag off. Out on the wing for Zell. 10 seconds left in the half. Lichtman gets inside, and it's off DCG. This will stay with Waverly-Shell Rock. They get another try at it.
Well, and as you had said earlier, put in your best baseline inbound play to get a quick score.
Although our officials have started talking about it, and they're going to keep the call. Kevin Schultz talking with Jason Slaughter down there. And the Go Hawks inbound to Ott, over to Frizzell, inside of 5, step back 3, can't drop, and that will take us into the half. So Waverly-Shell Rock scores the final 5 points of the half. And this one's all been Dallas Center Grimes. The Mustangs have a 30-13 lead on Waverly-Shell Rock heading into the halftime break. We'll step aside. This has been a fun quarterfinal. We'll see what adjustments are made as we get ready to start the second half in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. You're watching state tournament basketball coverage presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Frank, oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grills are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
but to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you better stake up. Fairway and meat go hand in hand.
This dream is meant for you and me.
Poultry, pork, and beef, your home for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Fairway, It's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. Sometimes life takes an unexpected turn, like receiving a cancer diagnosis. At Mercy One, you have access to a team of cancer experts with advanced technologies and holistic therapies for the cancer care you need close to home. Our team will guide you every step of the way, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
It takes a village to care for a patient. From all of the various people, if you come see us, that you'll meet. Every one of those people, we try to get people that are committed to making that the best experience that they can do.
I think the breadth of coverage that we're able to provide, I think is unique. All of these different facets that all intertwine are what allow us to take care of the community the way that I feel they should.
At DMOS, we're here when you need us.
Back inside the Casey Center in Des Moines with Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg with you. As you can see, Dallas Center Grimes off and rolling in a Class 4A state quarterfinal. The Mustangs lead Waverly-Shell 30-13. Let's see how they got there by taking a look at our first half statistics. Of course, they are brought to you by Sukup. And, the statistics really show us a very obvious discrepancy offensively. The Mustangs very efficient. Waverly-Shell hasn't been.
Yeah, we were talking about that during the break, and we'd like to have better analysis for you other than, hey, you got to get more shots on goal, you got to connect on a few more shots, and you got to try to find some way. 1 of 10 from three-point range. They're getting looks. Yep. They're rushed shots, so they're getting those openings, and so again, maybe it's the ball fake. Let the defender fly by. Get your feet set and try to shoot some of those perimeter shots. And then don't rush it when you get the ball inside. They've had some opportunities down low in the block, but the defense and the help side defense of the Mustangs is very, very good here in the first.
And I think if you're Waverly-Shell, you probably, by their standards, they're probably disappointed with the first half outcome, but you can't be too upset because you forced 7 turnovers. You've done some good things defensively. You've been able to turn some of those into points. It's just, you need to do that a little bit more consistently, I guess.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad second quarter for them.
Nope.
They gave up the 12 points. They scored 7. And so it wasn't a bad second quarter for them at all. It was just that first quarter punch out, and almost a knockout blow, staggered them. So let's see if they've been able to just kind of regroup in the locker room at halftime and get things going their way.
Macy Meyer was certainly a big reason for that punch in the mouth. She had 10 points, didn't miss a shot. in the first half of play, going 4 for 4 from the field, with 2 of those hitting from the outside. That's a look at some of your statistics in the first half. They're brought to you by Sukup. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back with our second half of play. It's Waverly-Shell Rock against Dallas Center Grimes in a Class 4A state quarterfinal. We're back with more coverage in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. Smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
As we take a quick break from tournament coverage, all of us at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union want to extend our sincere appreciation to our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their continued support of this championship event. I'm joined once again by Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, who's here to share more about the special souvenirs our participating student athletes will be taking home this week.
You know, that's right, Erin. Our incredible student athletes won't be leaving empty-handed. Every athlete competing today will take home a custom souvenir bag tag to commemorate their hard work and dedication. And for our championship teams, we're thrilled to present pink championship ball caps, a bold symbol of everything that they've earned. Athletes will also receive a signature ball, perfect for collecting autographs from coaches and teammates and creating a keepsake that they'll treasure for years. Each of these items is more than just swag. They're reminders of what's possible when you work hard and follow your dreams.
Brent, thank you to the Iowa Farm Bureau for helping make this championship experience so special for our athletes. Now let's get back to the action.
We're back inside the Casey Center on a gorgeous day for the state girls basketball tournament with Laura Leonard, Daniel Versteg with you. Dallas Center Grimes leading Waverly-Shell Rock big at the half, 30-13. Of course, this is our precursor to the rest of the Class 4A state quarterfinals that are taking place today. And Laura, we mentioned it off the top. Such a competitive league, competitive class here at the state tournament. You've got 1 through 8. I don't think there's a weak spot in here. I look at that Heelan and North Polk game coming up later on today, and gosh, I wouldn't count out the Comets in that one either.
You know, just looking at the bracket, nobody has more than 3 losses, and that's North Polk. I mean, all these teams come in here with Heelan has not lost a game, right, and then everybody else is 1 or 2, and then North Polk with 3. So. Right. It is going to be a competitive bracket, and it's always, and I think all season long, the 4A has been fun to watch, and watching them bounce back and forth in the standings or in the rankings, who's number 1 this week, right. And it just is always one of the most competitive classes.
It always brings the most entertainment, the most upsets. You get a Cinderella run here and there. Cedar Rapids Xavier a couple of years ago with Coach Lilly's last season. They were the 8th seed, and they made the run all the way to the title. I mean, that's it just goes to show how competitive top to bottom this class is year in and year out.
Yeah, and it's been fun because you do get stories like that we had a couple of years ago, and maybe we'll get one like that here. I think it's a wide open class where I think you have some favorites in the other classes that you might lean to and say, oh, they're the one to shoot for. They're the clear-cut leader in their target. Exactly. I don't think you can say that in 4A, and that's what makes it so fun and so competitive.
Well, and even in this matchup, Laura, I look at the score, and maybe in another game throughout the state tournament, you'd say, all right, Dallas Center Grimes has got this one taken care of. But what we've seen from Waverly-Shell Rock throughout the season with their defensive intensity, their ability to score, they do shoot the three pretty well. You can't really count them out, even though they're down 17 at the half.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what they talked about at halftime was, we've done it all season long. We've done it this way.
Right.
We've done it with our defense. We've done it with shooting from the outside. Let's get those things going. And in the other locker room, if you're Dallas Center Grimes, you're gonna say, hey, don't coast here because this is a team that can come back on you. We're gonna have to take care of the basketball. It's gonna be hard to continue the hot shooting that they've had, but they're gonna find ways to score. And when they don't, and if they're not as efficient in the second half, Waverly-Shell Rock needs to take advantage of that.
Well, we've seen Waverly-Shell Rock light it up from the outside earlier this year. Actually, just a few weeks ago, early February, they made 19 threes as a team. That was against a Class 1A state qualifier in Key High. That was a school record by quite a margin, and boy, they've been setting records all season. Well, Lizzie Frizzell made 12 threes in a game, and they've got some ability to trim a deficit quickly with the outside shot. It's just they went 1 for 10 in the first half. So,
and you have to figure those statistics may flip a little for them as well.
We'll see what the Go Hawks have in store to open the second half of play. They're going to Frizzell right away. Tried to look off a defender, now gets it back. And they're working it around the perimeter. You can tell they're looking for the outside shot, trying to spark them that way. Here's one in the corner, and it just missed. Rebound is controlled by Bodensteiner. That's something the Go Hawks were able to do pretty well in the first half, get some offensive rebounds. Just didn't always get the second chance point out of it. And there's Bodensteiner. Wanted the backdoor cut, but couldn't find her. That was Beck on the roll there. Kicking it out here to Ott. It's Addie Ott. She leaves it off for Annika Ott. And Bodensteiner looks to kick it out again. Working the ball up top, and now the shot clock is low. Inside with Beck. She spins and scores while getting fouled.
That's the kind of start that they wanted to have right here as got the offensive board, got the second chance, able to connect on that one and draw the foul. And so those are things that are going to get this Waverly-Shell Rock team fired up.
Well, Addie Odd, who's not afraid to do the dirty work, as her head coach Greg Bodensteiner says. She gets a three-point play, gets a little down and dirty there, and it's an 8-0 run if you count the end of the second quarter. The Go Hawks have built some momentum, and now Macy Meyer gets fouled in transition. She is fouled by Addie Ott.
But she pushes the ball up the floor so quickly. I mean, if you put some pressure on them in the backcourt, with her ball handling skills, she can get by you, and then she's got the numbers, and they can take advantage of that and attack.
Yeah, it's almost a good counter for that Go Hawk pressure.
Yeah.
Here's the curl inside, and Smid, she gets an and one on her end of the floor, and will go to the line for one more.
Boy, and if that's on Bodensteiner, I think that's number 3.
And it is on Bodensteiner. That is the third foul for Brittany Bodensteiner, the senior and coach's daughter, Greg Bodensteiner's daughter. The three-point play is converted by Ava Smid. And so Dallas Center Grimes returns to their 17-point advantage that they entered this second half with. Waverly-Shell Rocks trying to find the way to score. Here's Frizzell, the pin down pick, and the three right through the heart of the bucket.
Boy, not a whole lot of room to shoot it. She had Smid right in her face.
Boy, that's got to be a confidence booster after she missed her first 5 from the outside. She's knocked down a pair here. And now Dallas Center Grimes working in with Smid. Skip on the baseline drive for Tessa Jones. Turned away. Bodensteiner's got the rebound. The Go Hawks are on the run. Frizzell, the pull-up. Missed it. Rebound tapped out. They'll get another try. How about those active hands on the offensive glass?
Yeah, Ott down there just swatted it away. Knew she could not pull it for herself, so swatted it out to teammates.
Frizzell gets inside this time. Into a double team. Missed it. Put back. No. Third try. She's going to give it off, and Frizzell can't get that one. She gets it back again. Still can't put it through. It's been that kind of game for Waverly-Shell Rock here today. And the held ball will go to DCG.
Boy, so many opportunities, and that's got to be a little disheartening for the Go-Hawks.
No, and Adam Jones certainly doesn't like that, even though Waverly-Shell Rock did not score. He does not like the amount of chances they had, and you can tell he's a bit frustrated with the effort on the glass. And, well, it's just something that needs to be worked out here in a quick timeout.
Yeah, and it's a good timeout because I think you do have to get back with your team and get that focus back and grab their attention, and that's exactly what he's doing. Gave up too many opportunities. Right. I mean, it was at least 5 or 6, if not, that they couldn't convert.
They just kept sticking around down there, and they kept getting some second chances. But, yeah, it goes to the point, and we're not obviously saying DCG's doing this, but a reminder that you can't coast. Just because you're up 17 at the state tournament does not mean you are automatically moving on.
Right. And, the one thing, too, if Waverly-Shell Rock is able to score, gives them the opportunity to set up the defense.
Right. So here comes the pressure, and DCG will get it in cleanly. They set a few screens back there, and Leah Brauch starts working her way up the floor with Macy Meyer's help. Here she comes. Oh, a good crossover. Couldn't quite finish the job on the other hand. And they're going inside. This is Abens against Bodensteiner. They attack her again, and she scores.
Yeah, once she gets a step around Bodensteiner, she can't really do anything. She doesn't want to pick up her fourth.
Yeah, fourth foul here would be a death sentence for her. And the Go-Hawks trail by 16 once again. Annika Ott pass it inside. Bodensteiner's fouled. This time they'll get Abens, who picks up her second foul.
As soon as the ball got into the front court, those two were battling right away to gain position. And Abens was leaning on Bodensteiner and finally got the front position, got her the ball, and was able to draw that contact on Abens.
Slow movement off the inbound, but they do get it up top. Here's Addie Ott. Pass over to the right side, Bodensteiner. There's Frizzell trying to find her way in the lane. Kicks it out. Ott to the baseline. Nothing doing. Good job cutting her off. She spins away and missed that shot. Bodensteiner cleans it up and misses again. Point blank layups. They're just not going. Here comes Macy Meyer quickly for DCG. Around the horn it goes to Brauch. Inside look. Abens around the post, into the corner, just a bit short. And that's kept alive by DCG.
Boy, what about Leah Brauch? She just sliced in there and tipped that ball to herself, one of the smallest players on the floor, able to pull that rebound.
Had to use every inch of her 5'4" frame to get that hand on the ball and control the rebound. Here's Meyer. Little pull-up game on the mid-range. Doesn't get it, and a foul on the rebound. This will go against Dallas Center Grimes again, and that's Abens, who just picked up her third foul of the contest. So now she's in some trouble, and that brings in Anaya Bowens. They're also going to replace Macy Meyer, give her a little bit of a breather. Paisley Heidgerken checks in for her. She had a really nice first half, made 7 points off the bench. Those are, of course, substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Go-Hawks kick it around the right side as Frizzell tries to go in the corner. Now there's Bodensteiner, meets a double team, and this time she finishes.
That was precision passing. They were able to work the ball around, allow Bodensteiner to get down low, and there was a little bit of a mismatch down there in the block.
So the Go-Hawks are able to trim the deficit, and DCG extends it once more. The three by Tessa Jones.
Just able to get her up off of the screen. Nobody came up with her, and she was able to catch in rhythm and knock it down.
Over to Bodensteiner on the wing. Not much of a three-point shooter in her own right. She's only attempted 2 all season. Out up top to Addie Ott. And the nice little pick and roll. Trying to get it down to Bodensteiner. She's able to corral it. Passes back in the lane, and cannot connect. Another good look down low, doesn't fall.
And again, just watching the defense there of DCG, Ava Smith is getting the assignment on Frizzell, just chasing her all over the court.
And making her life a nightmare right now as Brauk can take some time off. The Mustangs don't need to be in too much of a hurry right now. They go inside. Bowens. They're going inside. This is Bowens. Into Bodensteiner. And she kicks it out again. Meyer down the lane. Scoop shot with touch for two.
Little point guards like that just know they have a knack for being able to twist their body, keeping the ball protected, and getting it up off the glass.
Go Hawks with it outside and needing points desperately. Well, that's a good way to get it. A little hezzy for Adiot to the cup.
Being aggressive, attacking, getting in on the baseline, they need to continue to do that, and they need to score quickly.
Brauk around the right side to Meyer, and you maybe need some quick stops too via turnover, or maybe see if you can force DCG into a quick shot, as there's a foul, and that's not going to help the cause. Puts time back on the shot clock, and it'll go against Annika Ott.
Yeah, you have to feel like the Mustangs are just going to take their time. They're going to be patient, and then if they get a wide open shot, they'll take it early in the clock. But otherwise, they feel like they can probably afford to milk some clock.
Yeah, if this, well, they are going to throw one up right away. As Tessa Jones draws a foul, so she'll get a chance to shoot two. And that one goes against Ott once more. So she's picked up her second foul on this possession. I think the contact a little hard there for Jones as she shakes it off before sinking her first.
Jones is a really good softball player, yes. Probably will pursue that and play that sport in college, but holding her own here on the basketball court.
Second one's good. I'm sure Coach Jones would have loved his daughter to go the basketball route, but softball's the way she is most gifted and able to find her way as Waverly-Shell loses possession. Here come the Mustangs. And you see Meyer with a kick out to Brauk. They're going to Jones. Deep shot. And nothing but net for Tessa Jones.
He feels like she might be one of the best shooters he's ever coached. I'm sure he had a hand in that, but you saw it right there. That was perfect. That was perfect form.
42% coming into the state tournament for Jones. But that one's off the mark now for Frizzell. Rebound. There's Jones, and she's fouled for the rebound. Waverly. And up ahead to Tessa Jones, who's had a nice pick-me-up off the bench here. 8 points, 4 rebounds for her. Around the horn to Brauk. Jones look for another shot, but travels on her fake. So back to Waverly-Shell and the Go Hawks, who are looking to try and at least put a little momentum up and see if they can find a way to make some magic happen in this fourth quarter of play. Here's the kick out into the corner. Lichtman working around the horn. Oh, a good give and go down to Bodensteiner, and a foul down low. Quite a collision with Tessa Jones and Brittany Bodensteiner, and Jones comes up with the foul.
Bodensteiner popped right up, and that probably goes back to those football skills.
Yeah, you get tackled in football, you got to get back up. Same on the basketball court. Playing football for 6 years. The entry, fade away, doesn't fall, rebounds out off the Mustangs, back to the Go Hawks.
They just have not been able to score the basketball. It's been a struggle all game long. They're shooting at 28%, and it has certainly been a struggle and a little bit disheartening.
Oh, there's Frizzell hitting the three-pointer from the outside, and Waverly-Shell trying to lift their spirits with a triple there. DCG getting back to work. Pass up top, Meyer straight away, knocks down the three in response.
Every time that Waverly-Shell gets a little bit of boost of energy and a big shot, Dallas Center Grimes comes right back with the answer.
That's a heave there for Frizzell, and then a foul on the rebound. This will go on to Waverly-Shell as Lichtman comes sailing in and commits the foul. So it will be DCG ball here midway through this fourth quarter. And the Mustangs trying to secure a spot in the semifinal round. Just a few minutes from doing so. This has been a strong team effort here once again, something they've been talking about all season. Their team motto has been, well, it's team-oriented. There's a good pass down to Abens, furthering the point. And their motto this season, sometimes you, sometimes me, but always us. And I feel like that embodies their teamwork so well.
And I think that last play was certainly that. It could have been me, could have been you, but it was them. Yes. It was us, and it was a great little break, and it was a good two-player game. Nice pass out on the break to get the easy bucket.
Here they come once again. They're looking to finish this one strong. Owen Meyer, uncontested for two.
And when she gets that step, and you see how easy she slides through the defense and went to the hoop with the left hand.
Go Hawks, trailing by a bunch and trying to get something to go their way. Here is Frizzell with the pass up top, right through the hands of Beck. It came at her too hot. Here's Meyer. And Beck, great recovery to deny the shot. Heidgerken into the defender. She was straight up. Oh, what a pass. Just a bit too much over the top of Lichtman. Trying to go for the Hail Mary down the floor and just a bit off target.
And I've talked over the last couple of games that we've seen here that players should go in and get on 2 feet and stop, make that jump stop. That's exactly what Meyer did, and she got a twatter, but the defense stayed right with her. So, you know, you just have to read the defense and see what they're doing and maybe kick that back out or give another pump fake, see if you can get them in the air.
Setting it up in the half court with Brauk, and much more patient on this possession. You can tell they've been told to slow it down a bit and get their shot. There's Meyer, sees the lane, turned away, but right into the waiting arms of Abens, who scores.
You get the backside help, you get the block, and it goes right to the opponent.
Lichtman knocks down a three in response.
And I think that's a glimpse of what Waverly-Shell can do. They can get out and run, and they can shoot the threes.
Just hasn't happened as consistently as you would like if you're a Go Hawk fan today. That's been the unfortunate part, is they've seen it all season. It's something they've been able to do pretty well most of the year. Just unfortunately today has not been their day. Frizzell does hit another three to try and make things look a little bit better on the scoreboard. She's got 19 of the 32 for the Go Hawks. ECG passed up top. It was deflected. Mustangs can go back there to get it. And a timeout called by Adam Jones. And I think he's only got full timeouts left. So we'll take a timeout with him. Late in this fourth quarter, it's all DCG. Well on their way to another state semifinal appearance. We'll be back with more in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7.
Center Grimes huddle. The Mustangs have been on a roll here in this fourth quarter. This whole game, they're up by 22 and just a couple of minutes away from their fifth state semifinal appearance in the last 6 seasons. The only time they didn't make it to at least the semifinal round in that run was when this senior class was sophomores 2 years ago. And, well, of course, it's a small senior class, so they're not going to be missing much. This is some great opportunities and moments that this junior and sophomore class is getting here today.
It is a great experience and something to continue to build on with this program. It's been a rising program, and they just continue to build.
They're running the shot clock down and limiting those possessions. Here's Brauk with a shot clock at 3. Runner up, won't go. Rebound to the Go Hawks. They want to run to try and at least make the scoreboard look a little nicer. The pass up ahead is off the mark. Brittany Bodensteiner. It's back to DCG. And now Waverly-Shell is going to bring the bench out there, and they'll replace That starting five that's been so darn good this season. 22-1 coming into the state tournament. And they will exit for the final time. A few seniors on that starting lineup, and Annika Ott, Natalie Beck, Addie Ott, and Brittany Bodensteiner. They have done so much for this program over the last few seasons. I think we might still get a chance to see one senior for Waverly-Shell Rock. We'll see. We hope we do. We'll talk about her if she gets into the ball game. DCG kicks it out. Tessa Jones, a three. Just rolls off the rim. And the Go Hawks get the rebound with Abby Frizzell. Here comes Waverly-Shell Rock. It's Lichtman up the floor. One to the right side. Harper Morrison inside. A lot of freshmen on the floor here for the Go Hawks. They've got a good class that they can build around. Here's Lichtman in the corner. Off the mark. There to clean it up is Waverly-Shell Rock. It's Ella Wilker who cleans it up and scores. And this will be a substitution timeout. DCG will get those starters off the floor and those key bench players. And they'll bring in a nice crop of freshmen and bench players as well. A couple of freshmen will come in this rotation. And some juniors. They've got a nice group of bench players they bring in. And it looks like we are going to see that last senior as Hannah Byers heads to the scorers table amongst a rousing round of applause from the Go Hawk fans. Inside to Wilson. Going to kick it out to Taya Jones. Back around the horn. Pass inside to Wilson again. Shot clock is low. Here's the drive for Harvey. This is Tenley Heidgerken inside. Floater misses. Rebound Waverly-Shell Rock. And Waverly-Shell Rock will get the timeout. And here comes Hannah Byers, the senior guard. This is the loudest we've heard any crowd here today. As Hannah Byers checks in, she's a senior with Down syndrome for Waverly-Shell Rock. Brittany Bodensteiner, her classmate, said in an interview recently, if you don't have her, you don't have Waverly-Shell Rock girls basketball. She's scored 6 buckets this season.
And they might try to get her set up.
Looking for number 7, just off the mark there. They get it back to Byers, and she scores.
Look at the smile on her face.
It's one of the brightest smiles you'll see on any basketball court. And what a moment there for Waverly-Shell Rock. Good way to close the season. It's not the way they wanted it to end. But a great cherry on top of a phenomenal season as Dallas Center Grimes finishes off this one 59-39. They defeat Waverly-Shell Rock and advance to the semifinal round for the 5th time in the last 6 seasons. It's been an impressive run for DCG.
It really has, and I think that opening quarter for the Mustangs was what set the tone for them, and Waverly-Shell Rock was never able to really recover from that initial quarter where they came out firing, and they had no answer for Dallas Center Grimes.
8-0 open to the ball game, 18-6 at the end of the first quarter, 4 of 5 from the outside. DCG finishes 9 of 14 from long range. Pretty impressive stuff as the Mustangs conclude Waverly-Shell Rock's season with a 59-39 win. Let's send it down to the floor for the post-game introductions.
Proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU, our Executive Director, Aaron Gerlich, and Basketball Administrator, Gary Ross. Congratulations to Head Coach Greg Bodensteiner and the Waverly-Shell Rock Go Hawks on an outstanding basketball season. And now we'd like to recognize today's Quick Star Star of the Game, Macy Meyer. Her standout performance earns her the honor of advancing her team on the bracket to the 4A semifinal round. Congratulations, DCG fans. Your team will play Thursday at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance today to cheer on your favorite team. As a reminder, pick up your trash as you
Well, we're back inside the Casey Center, and Dallas Center Grimes polishes off Waverly-Shell Rock tonight, 59-39, advances on to the state semifinal round. And, well, I was just thinking there, if DCG is going to be able to shoot like they did today, the rest of the state tournament, they're going to be a scary bunch.
They will be, and we talked at halftime that the percentages will catch up to you. They really didn't in the second half. At halftime, Dallas Center Grimes was shooting 66%, almost 67% from the floor. They ended up shooting 55%,
right.
So they didn't let up at all. And yes, they missed a few shots, but that's pretty good. And when you shoot 64% from three-point range for the game, you're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, and Waverly-Shell Rock just couldn't get it going, unfortunately, as they conclude a spectacular season in the state tournament at 22-2. Dallas Center Grimes will await the winner of our next contest. It's Norwalk against Central DeWitt. That's getting started here very shortly at the bottom of the hour. So we will step aside until then and say so long. For all of our great crew here in Des Moines, for my partner Laura Leonard, I'm Daniel Versteg. You've been watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.